It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in, folks. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Pastor Josh Lange from Redeemer Church in Syracuse. Jennifer Covert stops by. She's the executive director of North Area Meals on Wheels. And then we'll wrap things up with Joe Bright. He's the owner of Duncan Bright Furniture. Right now, it's our pleasure to bring back on the show Josh Lange. He's the pastor at Redeemer Church in Syracuse. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Tom. It's good to be back.
Well, it's good to have you around. Did you get to the fair at all?
You know, unfortunately, we didn't. The summer got a little out of control there towards the end, and so my wife was a little disappointed. She loves the barns.
Yeah,
going through the barns and all the buildings.
See all the, animals.
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
Did your wife grow up on a farm, or what's the deal with that?
No. She likes it, and I think my kids think that stuff is the boring stuff of the fair,
of course,
and so they don't want to go there. So we actually talked about not taking them, but then our schedule got away from us.
So we had to go into the poultry barn because Nate is
Steve's son, by the way.
Not a fan of birds.
Oh no!
So like birds,
and he's in the Air Force.
Birds, like since he was little, birds like freak him out.
Right.
And I could show you a video of this rooster chasing him at Fort Ricky Game Farm. You know Fort Ricky Game Farm? There was this rooster, he's like dad. So anytime we go anywhere, like we were in Florida once, and the roosters come up to the table, he just hates them. So I'm like, let's go in here, and we went in. Now they're in cages, so that created some safety. Yeah. But I find them. I was looking at them, and I'm like the build, they're so different. Yes. And I was looking at it and saying, God created that. But then he created this one slightly different. I'm like, that's so cool. Yeah. Why'd he do that? Is he showing off? Okay, I'll take that.
He likes variety.
Yeah.
How long have you been a pastor, Josh?
I've worked for the church just over 22 years. Mm-hmm. And I think my official licensing came in 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now would you be considered an evangelical Christian? Or is that not a term that's used anymore? Am I back too far?
That's a loaded term.
Okay.
But yes, you know what I mean? Redeemer Church is non-denominational.
Okay.
And we're Protestant. Mm-hmm. And we would just believe what has been considered historically orthodox for the church.
Yeah. Do you have any friends who are Catholic?
Yeah, actually I have relatives, definitely.
Yeah.
Tom, do you mean Roman Catholic?
Yeah, well,
because there's a difference.
Is there a difference? I don't know.
Well, the word Catholic means universal,
right?
So Catholic is Roman Catholic means there's a Roman Catholic Church,
right.
That's a specific denomination, if you want to call it that, which I guess it is. But
are there different rules? Like my wife is Irish. And so she's Irish Catholic, and I'm Italian Catholic or Roman Catholic.
Different traditions. If you've been to Central America, Roman Catholicism looks nothing like it looks here.
No kidding. So one of the big splits, and those who would the Orthodox folks would say go back even further, but we're talking about the Protestant Reformation and Martin Luther nailing the 95 Theses to the door, and that's where the big split between, in essence, Rome and the rest of the church came.
So what was Martin Luther so annoyed about?
Well, he was a monk, and he was concerned that the church, and Martin Luther didn't want to split. What he was concerned about is that they were not preaching that it is we are saved by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone, to the glory of God alone. And so there was what folks would call like a works-based righteousness. So you have to, do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And while they would say, yes, you have to put your faith in Christ, there's this Jesus plus addition. And so where the Protestants differ is we say, no, there's no plus on the end of Jesus. It is only by the grace of God alone, in putting your faith in Christ alone, that you are rescued from the wrath of God that is against sin that has come into the world.
I see. But would you also say to somebody that even though you're not saved by good works or good deeds, you have to be a good person, right? I mean, you can't be, shaving kittens at night and then, coming in and saying, well, I'm a Christian, I'm okay.
Well, here's a helpful way to delineate that, Mark.
Yes.
We are not saved by our good works, but we are saved for good works. So when you look at the book of Ephesians in the New Testament, what we see is that it says that it is by
grace we are saved
through faith, that not of ourselves. It is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. And so, but if you go just a little bit further, it says that we were saved for good works, that our lives might reflect the glory of God. So if someone has truly experienced the grace of God, I mean, realizing that, hey, on your best day, there's nothing you can do to stand before a holy God. If you realize that even on your best day, you can't do that, and God, in his love, in his grace, sent his son to do for you what you could not do for yourself, that's an amazing thing. And you want to live your life differently because you've experienced that. And so the good works are an outworking of a heart that has been transformed and experienced the love and the grace of God.
Experience the gift, to your point. That really experienced the gift, and there's an outward sign of that.
Yes.
So how do you talk to millennials? There's a whole group, and I remember back in the 80s when the group REM came out with the song "Losing My Religion," and that's me in the corner, losing my religion, that type of thing. We got a whole group of people that are, in their 20s and into their 30s who just are lost. So how do you bring them to Christ? How do you let them know that, hey, we've got a beacon over here, and let us show you the beacon without sounding uncool?
Well, I think
Josh isn't cool. Let's just get that out of the way. No, go ahead, Josh.
Or the church being uncool.
I think when you're talking to folks about faith, you have to help them to see that, hey, you are living for something. And you're putting your faith and hope and trust in something to deliver what you hope will give you the ultimate delight, satisfaction, fulfillment, significance, security in life. So, for example, I don't know if you've heard that song "Shallow" by Lady Gaga, right?
I haven't heard that one. No, that's a new one.
And what's interesting about it, if you don't mind, I'll just pull up my phone and put the lyric on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it, but I'll read it to you because I want you to think here. Is where are people putting their faith? Oh gosh, my
and that's an interesting question because and while you're looking that up, I will say that following trends and stuff, people are now more than ever into astrophysicism and all that. Well,
let's not even go that deep. But let's look at Gaga. I think Gaga really. Sums it up well. She says this, tell me, this is a duet. So a guy singing to a girl singing to a guy. So here's the first part. Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? And it says, I'm falling. In the good times, I find myself longing for change. In the bad times, I fear myself. So now her part, tell me something, boy. Are you tired of trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Isn't it hard keeping it so hardcore? And the answer to those huge questions of life is, I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground, crash through the surface where they can't hurt us, where we're far from the shallows now. And I think when you think about that song, Gaga picks up on the existential longing within the heart of humanity. And her answer, honestly, is shallow. Is just find love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just break through and dive off this deep end. And I'm telling you what, that's more of a risk of faith than putting your faith and hope in an actual person who lived, who died,
I'm just amazed that he knows who Lady Gaga is.
Yeah, he's cool a little. Pastor Josh, Redeemer Church, located across from
Nottingham High School.
Sunday at 10. Come as you are, and wear shorts or jeans. Or
I don't want him to go. I was just getting going
That's
here.
okay.
All right. Coming up, thank you, Josh.
Hey,
really.
thanks for having me, guys.
Okay. Jennifer Covert's coming up next, Executive Director of North Area Meals on Wheels, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.